On. Welcome. Okay. Last time we discussed about the intestinal nematodes. So nematodes nematodes roundworms. Roundworms. They are classified into intestinal and visceral. Intestinal, there are 7. Okay. Number 1, Ascaris lumbricoidis. Ascaris lumbricoidis. Number 2, there are 3 hookworms. Ankylostoma duodenale. Ankylostoma duodenale. Necator americanus. Necator americanus. Strongyloides Strongyloides stercoralis. What is it? Strongyloides stercoralis. Then Trichinella spiralis. Sixth one, Trichuris trichura. Entropius Entropius vermicularis. Entropius vermicularis. Ascaris lumbricoidis visceral, there are 2. Ucheraria bancrofti. Then Draconculus medinensis. Draconculus medinensis. So Ascaris lumbricoidis, man get infected by consumption of at his fecal. Okay, fecal. Man get infected by consumption of eggs, embryonated. In food and water. Food and water. Man get infected by consumption of egg present in the food and water. Food and water. The next is Ankylostoma duodenale, Necator americanus, Strongyloides stercoralis. When man walks barefoot on fecally contaminated Sorry. When man walks barefoot on fecally contaminated soil. Infective form is filariform larva. Filariform larva. Trichinella spiralis, man eating pork, partially cooked or uncooked pork, partially cooked or uncooked pork. Trichura is commonly called as whipworm. Whipworm because the posterior end is stout and anterior end is thin. Man get infected by eating. It is also fecal by contaminated food which contains egg. This is also fecal. Food and water. Enterobius vermicularis again oral auto infection. It is called auto infection. This is also fecal. This is also fecal. So Ascaris lumbricoides, you remember there are two types of hawk. One is elliptical and you don't see embryo inside. Whereas the other one is nice round with mammillation and inside you can see the embryo. These are bile stained eggs. These are bile stained eggs. Here, this is non-bile stained, all three, Ankylostomata duodenale, Necator americanus. You see, three blastomeres. Inside, three blastomeres. This is non-bile stained. This is non-bile stained. This is non-bile stained. Okay. Here, trichura, it is bile stained. It looks like dumbbell shape or barrel shape. These are mucus plugs. It has got mucus plugs. It is again bile stain. So you need not to worry about this is Enterobius vermicularis is plano-convex. Non-bile stain. Non-bile stain. Plano-convex, non-ballistic. We'll repeat. Ascaris, everybody, Ascaris lumbricoidis, commonly called as roundworm. Man get infected eating food and drinking water which contains embryonated eggs. The eggs are bile-stained eggs. Non-embryonated blood is elliptical, whereas embryonated egg is round. You can see the embryo inside. The eggs of Ankylostomata duodenale, nectar americanus, and stercoralis, these are hookworms. Why they are called hookworms? Because the anterior end is in the form of hook. 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 So they lay down non-bile-stained eggs. Inside you see 4 blastomeres. Inside you see blastomeres. Trichinellus paralis, man get infected by eating pork, which is uncooked or partially cooked pork. Next is trichura, it's whipworm. It is called whipworm because the interior part is thin, the posterior part is thick. It looks like a whip. That's why it is called as whipworm. Man get infected by consumption of food and water, which contains the eggs of trichura. Trichura is bile-stained eggs. It's barrel shaped with mucus plug at both ends. Enterobase vermicularis. It is pinworm, seedworm, or threadworm. Pinworm, pin, thread, or seedworm. Pinworm, seedworm, threadworm. Pinworm, seedworm, threadworm. So it's usually auto-infection. It's usually seen in the child. It's usually. So now you are very clear about the intestinal nematodes. Other than intestine, there are 2 nematodes. One is Wuchereria bankrupti, which gives rise to filariasis. Which gives rise to filariasis. Man get infected by the bite of Culex fatigans. Infective stage is third stage larva. Third stage larva. Third stage larva. Third stage larva. The last one is Dracunculus medinensis. Dracunculus medinensis. It's also called as guinea worm. This is also called as guinea worm. It's also called as guinea worm. Man get infected by drinking water which contains cyclops. In the cyclops, larvae are present. Cyclops in which the larvae are present. So we have to study 7 plus 2, 9 worms in nematodes. And cystodes, I told you, beef tapeworm is beef. What is the name of the beef tapeworm? Tinea? Pork tapeworm? Pork tapeworm? Gonium. Dog tapeworm? Echinococcus granulosus. Fish tapeworm? Fish tapeworm. Name of the fish tapeworm. Name of the fish tapeworm. Name of the fish tapeworm. Diphyllobothrium latum. Diphyllobothrium latum. Fish tapeworm, Diphyllobothrium latum. fish tapeworm, Diphyllobothrium later. Dwarf tapeworm, Amelepis diminuta. Dwarf tapeworm, Amelepis diminuta. Rat tapeworm, Amelepis nana. Amelepis nana. How many are there? Beef tapeworm 1. Everybody hold like hold. Beef worm. Beef worm. Beef tapeworm. Tinea saginata. Pork tapeworm. Tinea solium. Dog tapeworm. Echinococcus granulosus. Then dwarf tapeworm. Hemilopus diminuta. Rat tapeworm. Hemilopus nana. Fish tapeworm. Diphyllobothrium latum. Later. How many are there total? 6. Okay. Only for your they don't ask in the examination. Just for your this thing. The nematodes, you remember liver fluke. Liver fluke is called as fasciola hepatica. Liver fluke is called fasciola hepatica. Intestinal fluke is clonarchis sinensis. Clonarchis sinensis and fasciolapsis busci. There are three important worms which are not in India. Cystosoma hematobium, which is a bladder worm, gives rise to hematuria, Japonicum and Manson. Just remember that, go through that, but don't go into the details of this. Okay? That's very important. Now, today's topic is hookworm. Today's topic is hookworm. Hookworm and roundworm is most commonly asked question in your examination. Okay. Once we finish all this parasitology and virology, then every day what you should do is you study one fungi, one virus, and one virus, mycology, and parasitology. One worm. You have to do. Okay. Every day from today onwards. Okay. Then you will become perfect, and you answer will once you finish portion, you start answering your question papers, previous year question papers in the classroom. Okay. Now, hookworm is called as Ankylostomum duodenale. And Necator americanus. There is one more. Strongyloides stercoralis. All these are hookworms. All these are. So man get infected by walking barefoot on fecally contaminated soil. So filariform larva enters the skin through venules to migrate to the lungs. From lungs, they come to the intestine and they develop into male and female adult worms. Male and female adult worms. Once they develop into male and female adult worms, they start laying eggs. Eggs, I said, you got a non-bile stained eggs with 4 blastomeres. First, it changed into rhabditiform larva, rhabditiform larva, then changed into filariform larva. And filariform larva pierces the skin. Pierces the skin. Everybody. And now man get infected by the piercing of filariform larva when he walks barefoot on soil which is contaminated with the uh, filariform larva. So from venules it goes to the lungs. From lungs it creeps up to the trachea and back to the esophagus. In the intestine they develop into the male and female form. They copulate and produce eggs. Eggs are laid down in the feces and soil development takes place. And in soil, first they develop into rhabditiform larva, then they develop into filariform larva. Again, filariform larva, when it pierces the skin, it develops into male and female adult worms. Male and female adult worms. So this is a life cycle of. So you have to write definite host. Definite host is man. Intermediate host, there is no intermediate host. It develops in the soil. How do you prevent? Now the story of the life cycle you have seen. How do you prevent the hookworm infection? In India it is very common still. How do you prevent? You know the story. How do you prevent this infection? Huh? What? Huh? How do you prevent this infestation or infection? Hookworm infection in Kuppam. Nayak. Gangadhar. How do you prevent this? Huh? Huh? What? Walking in what? Huh? Walking. How do you prevent walking? Walking with what? Sit down. Huh? What is that? Rosa. Jansi. Rosa has not come. Huh? You not heard new slogan? Defecation Mukt Bharat. Providing toilet to everybody. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Everybody should own a toilet. Open air defecation should be completely banned. Everybody have toilet in your house? Sure. Or you go for open air defecation? No, sure. You must have seen a movie Akshay Kumar, Toilet Ek Prem Katha. Yes or no? So this is the providing toilet to everybody. Every house should have. In fact, new this thing is, you will not get a girl to be married unless you have built a toilet. Okay. So what happens in the intestine? It sucks the blood. It sucks the blood and gives rise to iron deficiency anemia. Its transmitter is present in the soil. It is present in the soil. New name for Ankylostoma duodenale is Necator americanus. Old one is called Ankylostoma duodenale. New name is Necator americanus. Necator americanus. So this is again statistics, community medicine. 135 million. Americanus is South India, duodenal in North India. Assam, West Bengal, Bihar, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Maharashtra. No, Andhra Pradesh, very good. Nice people. Clean people. Neat and clean. So this is all statistics. You're not able to write this, okay? Forget this. They have written male because male go for open defecation compared to female. Am I right? Enjoy. Open air defecation. Open air micturition and defecation they enjoy. Mera Desh Mahan. Anemia is due to blood, they suck blood. It occurs in pregnant women also. This is the morphology. So male and female. Female is bigger than the male. And it has got mucosa, copulatory bursa, others. Size about 13 millimeter in size. Anterior end is bent like a hook. That's why it is called hookworm. It has got buccal capsule with teeth and cutting plate and copulatory bursa. So first stage is rhabditiform larva, second stage is filariform larva. Remember, filariform larva is infected to man. Which one is infected to man? Filariform larva. Filariform larva is infected to man. Filariform larva is infected to man. Filariform larva is infected to man. So this is the life cycle. So first they are converted into in the soil, rhabditiform larva, then filariform larva, man get infected, and from the site of penetration they go to the lungs, come back to the intestine, where they develop into male and female adult form. They start laying eggs, and eggs are further developed in the soil. That's the life cycle. That this type of diagram you practice. It's easy. For all parasites, you practice this type of flow diagram. Okay. So what happens? This organism sucks blood, and because of it has got hydrolytic enzyme, anticoagulants, and oozes blood from the side. So it gives rise to iron deficiency anemia because it sucks the blood. It sucks the blood in the intestine. It sucks the blood in the intestine. Blood loss 1.5 ml to 0.6 ml per day, 0.3 0.5 ml response. So all parasitic disease antibody IgE is raised. IgE is eosinophils and IgE is raised. So there is at the site of entry, when filariform larva enters the body, it gives rise to ground itch at the site of, and it gives rise to serpingeous tract. Mild in the lung, it gives rise to mild transient pneumonia. In the lungs, it gives rise to mild transient pneumonia. Sometimes it will be asymptomatic. If the worm in the intestine is increased, it gives rise to what is known as Wakana disease. So laboratory diagnosis is important. What we are supposed to do is very important for you. You have to identify the egg in the feces. Saline preparation. Stool sample is not egg may hatch out, release rhabditiform larva. Sometimes you see rhabditiform larva. And egg counting estimated how many are present in the intestine. So various methods are there: Cartocart's technique, direct smear method, modified stools egg counting technique. So this is the egg. Inside what you see is blastomeres. It's a non-bile-stained egg. Okay. This is a rhabditiform larva, that is filariform larva. That filariform larva is infected to man. Filariform larva is infected to man. Filariform larva is infected to man. It is cultured L3 larva. Culture technique. So Harada Molly filter paper tube method, Wehrmann funnel technique, charcoal culture technique, agar plate technique. These are all not very important. Uh, just you remember non-balanced index with the 4 blastomeres. Let's diagram. What is the diagram? PCR. Okay. Differentiate between angiosperm and duodenale. Then it gives rise to iron deficiency, hypochromic microcytic anemia, increased number of eosinophils, and hypoalbuminemia. So that is the treatment. Treatment is albendazole. All of you should take once in 6 months. As soon as you get up, one tablet of albendazole. It's not very costly. Or mebendazole, 500 milligrams. Parenteral pomade, 10 milligrams per kg body weight. Resistance to albendazole has also been reported. Treated with iron and folic acid. Iron anemia is treated. Nutritional support, oral and parenteral iron replacement. Improved personal hygiene. Don't go to the open air defecation. Go to the toilet. Lot of people prefer open air defecation, fresh air, nice air conditioned. If you go sit in the toilet, it smells badly, isn't it? Proper disposal of feces, improved nutrition and dietary iron, treatment of infected person. Thank you very much. No.